Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sayan and I welcome you to my very first devlog video on this channel. Now, before I start with the game development itself, let me quickly give an introduction of myself. So, about 5 years ago, when I must have been about 5 years ago, when I must have been on 7th grade, I got interested in game development. And since then, I've made maybe 9 or 10 games, which includes both for PC and for Android, mostly for PC. And also, majority of those games were just me following tutorials. Out of them, mainly 2, as I like to say, were made purely by me. For most parts, that is. One was this 3D replica I made of my school, and the player could move in first person mode. Yeah, that's it. Now, the main challenge was that our school has a complex structure, and making it in 3D took me maybe over 2 months. I made it for PC and then I made it for Android. I'd also like to bring here the fact that I got interested in 3D modeling even before having an interest for game development. Mainly cause my brother was always into CGI and stuffs. Anyway, I sometimes post my 3D arts on Instagram. Follow me at ColdNintendSD. Also, I quite recently made an animated horror video on my other channel, so you might want to check that out too. Link in the description. Anyway, moving on. In 2020, I made my biggest project yet. It was a 3D platformer, to most extent, which I named Leglessland, on Play Store and on itch.io. Again, link for both downloads in the link below. What did I just say? I meant link for both downloads in the description below. Also, don't make any mistakes in the spellings in the search bar, cause then it won't show. Hey, I did some frequent promotions and gave updates for it on my second Instagram page, which I dedicate to my game dev related stuffs. Follow at ColdNintendWorks, please, thank you. Also, I made a cheap trailer for Leglessland, which also is the only other video on this channel. Well, let's forget that. And my hard work finally paid. From what I understand, I had about a whopping 25 downloads on Play Store, off of which 23 have already uninstalled it. For some reason, 2 still have that game installed. Now that 2 doesn't include me though, cause I ain't playing that shit. Also, maybe 4 or 5 downloads on itch.io. For PC that was. That game too took me several months to make. Alright, that's enough of my introduction. Now, why don't you, yes you, introduce yourself and I listen. Oh, that's nice. Well, alright. Now, let's get into the development of Flying Inside. That's by the way the name I came up with for this game. And you'll soon know why. Hopefully that is. In case you didn't understand what I just said, the name of the game is Flying Inside. Also, for my previous game, I came up with its name only very late of its production. Not sure if that's a very bad thing. Well, sounds like it must be a very bad practice to come up with a name for a project very late. So, here it is. The moment you guys have been waiting for. The concept discussion. Oh my god, thanks for the concept discussion. So here it is. No, don't yet leave, alright? I know this looks ugly, this looks bad, but trust me, this is just the protocol of this is just a prototype of the game. This will look better once it's completely done. So here are just a few objects that I've put together to prove my point. This green thing in the background, That's the background. That's right. Our main focus is, however, this reddish rectangle. So as you can see, this is connected to the wall with this rod, reddish rod. So it's kind of providing an axis, a support for this rectangle thing. I do not know what to call it, so I'll just call it rectangle thing. Going back to 2D mode, these objects, as you can see, this shapes, what will happen is they will randomly fall from the sky like this, and oh god, I feel weird explaining this. So they'll fall randomly from the sky like this, and what you have to do is get them enter this cube. By the way, this shapes, as you can see, this shapes in gray, they represent emptiness. So basically this cube is like a hollow cube. So you'll have to insert this cube into the hollow cube, and that's how you get a score. But it won't be coming that easy, boy. It might be coming like in this certain position, maybe a bit towards the left, and as you can see, it's not going anywhere. It's just going to hit this axis area. Now it's your duty to somehow get this hollow cube come in contact with this. So basically you just have to rotate it like this, and therefore when it falls down, this cube, it will come in contact with the hollow cube and it will be sucked into the hollow cube, and that's how you win a point. But now you might ask, how could I possibly rotate this rectangle thing? Am I right? Well, that's where this thing comes in. This is like a gun with which you can shoot. That's what guns do these days. You shoot with it. So you might rotate it like this. You have to use your physics brain here, alright? You rotate it like this, and then you shoot a bullet out. And as soon as this bullet hits this rectangle thing at this particular area, it will leave this rectangle thing dangling like this. Or maybe if the bullet pressure is really high, it will just at once move it like this. I'm just saying. Or maybe you'll be required to shoot constantly a lot of bullets, because this rectangle thing is kinda heavy, and then it will move like this, and that's when this cube will come in contact with the hollow cube. Now I know it's kinda hard to understand what I'm trying to convey here. Or is it? I do not know. I think I suck at explanations. Oh my god, I remember my school days. But that's how it is, alright? If you don't understand, you can leave. I'm just joking, don't. But yeah, I guess that's all the explanation that I could have done. Just in case you're wondering, this sphere, yes, you're right, will be only suited for this sphere hollowness. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, you gotta shoot this rectangle thing at the required certain area, certain position, so that this rectangle thing ends up rotating in a certain position to the point where the objects that's been spawned from the top falls down and touches the shape that represents it. So for in this case, the sphere represents the sphere, so it will enter the sphere and you win. That's what I'm trying to make here. That's right, that's it.